Hey, what's up, YouTube? It is Melanie back with Melanie Loves Death Metal. What I'm listening to this week. I've got some good stuff out today. This week, I should say. Only two tapes that I pulled from the stack that I haven't listened to in a while. I just got a bunch of new tapes in that just admittedly took over the listening rotation. So yeah, let's get started. First things first, from the tapes. Does this need any introduction? Undergang. This is the Misantropologist release. Extremely Rotten Productions version. Really, really cool red pro printed tape. I love red tapes, so naturally I snagged this as soon as I saw it. So I actually got these through Parasitic Records, if anybody is wondering how I got Extremely Rotten Productions. So unfortunately, Extremely Rotten is an incredible store. They actually just opened up a store over in Europe Copenhagen. Sorry. I don't know. I can't remember the exact location, but shipping is horrible. So unfortunately, I haven't ever made a purchase directly to them, but they put out great stuff. They have a lot of inventory. Incredible. So, but luckily I was able to pick these up through Parasitic. They had them in their distro. But again, amazing quality. Extremely Rotten always puts out really good releases, really good quality releases. And do I need to say anything else about this band? No. I mean, everybody knows this band. I absolutely love them. And I admittedly got these a long ass time ago and had never listened to them until this week. So I'm really bad about that sometimes. I get albums just to add to the discography and then I don't actually listen to them when I receive them. Their latest that came out last year, I probably still listen to at least once a week. I have that on vinyl, so that tends to get more of the playtime, unfortunately. But I wanted to get as many albums as I could from them because I absolutely love this band. So naturally, the second one that I pulled out this week was the other Undergang that I got from Extremely Rotten or Parasitic, and this is Døden, Læger, Alle. Great stuff. I think this one might be one of my favorites that they've put out so far. Really nice white pro printed tape. I probably, before their newest, Undergang Liveth, I can never pronounce these names, I'm sorry. I probably listened to this one the most out of all of them. So yeah, definitely got myself into kind of a repetitive listen now, because whenever I pull out Undergang, I tend to only listen to them for days and days and days at a time, on top of other things. But for the most part, since I pulled these out, I've been like, yeah, I'm gonna listen to their discography again. So those are the two tapes that I've been listening to this week. On to the vinyl. I am going to show off, let's see, which one do I want to talk about first? I'll talk about this one first. So if you're not familiar with this band, which I feel like if you're watching this channel, you probably are, this is Fluids. This is their recent EP, I think it's considered, on Maggot Stomp. I forgot what it's called. Exploitative Practices. So Fluids is, I guess you could call a controversial band. It's dumb that they are. Instagram keeps removing their accounts because they post really gory, just ridiculous videos and stuff, as you can see by the album cover. That's what you're seeing. But anyway, music is what I want to talk about here. Fluids is phenomenal. It is brutal death metal, as you can tell. Very mortician worship that people say. Samples of horror movies. Just the fuzzy, brutal death metal. I absolutely love it. I know some people get incredibly turned off by this stuff, so whatever. I'm not even going to get into that. But I will say, this is probably one of the releases that I am super pumped about to be coming out soon, hopefully soon. And that is their newest album. They do have a new vocalist who is the vocalist of Thorn. If you're not familiar with Thorn, get familiar. Brennan is now the Fluids vocalist. So yeah, super pumped, super excited for their new release. So yeah, I pulled this out and I listened to it because I immediately had not listened to it as much as I should have been. Really good stuff. I actually probably prefer this over their first full length that they put out a couple years ago. I just like the progression of the sound that they're doing. Fun listen. The guys are hilarious. I think they're funny on Instagram. Somebody on Instagram did not, because they keep reporting their accounts and then it keeps getting taken down. So unfortunately, it's annoying, but in all honesty, if you can't just keep scrolling and move on with your day, you're just not cut out to be on social media. So just, yeah. So good stuff. I don't know if these are still available. I think for the most part, Fluid stuff is relatively out in the wild somewhere. I know Night Shift merch recently just got a bunch of their stuff in. So yeah, you'll have to check out the Maggot Stomp Bandcamp page and then maybe Night Shift merch. Also, one other cool little detail is that the inner sleeve is blue. I don't know, for some reason I just always love when they do stuff like that. So Fluids, yeah, I really like Fluids. I don't know, it's not for everybody. I totally understand that. So I'm not gonna be surprised if somebody tells me that they just can't stomach the music, but whatever. All right, next up. So in my collection update video that I am posting yesterday, but you're watching this today, I talked about closed casket activities and how it's not typically something that I usually look out for or releases for unless I know the band. Well, this is that situation where I know the band, I knew they were going to be releasing it. Well, it was pretty much a surprise release, but this is Gatecreeper's new EP that they put out this year, An Unexpected Reality. So surprisingly, when I got this vinyl, I listened to it once and then put it on the shelf and haven't touched it since. And that was a couple months ago. And the reason behind that is I tend to listen to a lot of music digitally, because when I'm walking my dogs, which I do every single day, twice a day for at least an hour, so that's like 2 hours of listening time. When I'm driving, I only can listen to music digitally in my car because I don't have a CD player in there. And sometimes when I'm just working and I want to have headphones on because I'm just working and pumping away on something, I'll listen to music that way. So I don't always pull out the records and tapes most of the time. So I've been trying to be better about that so I can actually, play the things I spend money on. So anyway, I pulled this out this week because, again, Closed Casket made me think like, oh, I haven't played that in a while. So yeah. I'm gonna just be honest with you guys. I'm pretty much a Gatecreeper fangirl. I love everything they put out. I've been trying to get all of their albums. I recently just got their first EP. It was repressed and released last week on Bandcamp Friday. I jumped on that as soon as I could. It sold out like literally 2 seconds after I got my copy. So yeah, I get they're pretty much the mainstream death metal band right now, so some people hate that. But in my eyes, I think it's been good because it's been getting a lot more people's eyes on the genre of music. But whatever, I know some people don't really care too much for this band because of the mainstreamness, but I actually really love them. They're probably one of my favorite bands right now. I got the Glow in the Dark version, which I've never bought a Glow in the Dark vinyl before. It actually glows in the dark and it sounds completely fine. I know that some people say that they don't sound good, but it actually doesn't sound bad. So yeah, this album, I just love this album. I mean, I know it's like an EP for the most part. The fast side is like crust, grindcore, super fast, short songs, and to me, they do it phenomenally. It's amazing. And then the slow side is a Death Doom song that it's called Emptiness, that I just absolutely love and will listen to it on repeat sometimes. So I think they do both aspects of those death genres very well. Very excited to see what their new album will sound like. They recently signed with a new label and I can't remember the name of it right now. I feel like it's Nuclear. Is it Nuclear Blast? I don't remember. It probably was a Nuclear Blast. But anyway, they're no longer on Relapse Records, and this is just like a little special release that they did with Closed Casket. So I'm sure you guys all know about this stuff already. So yeah, I won't hide the fact that I absolutely love Gatecreeper. In fact, love him so much that I just, I follow Chase on social media because I think he's hilarious. Saw them in concert when they came through Tampa. Yeah, so I pretty much follow them as much as I can. So, all right, next one is probably something maybe I feel like not a whole lot of people know about, at least maybe a couple people that watch this channel. But if you're not familiar, this is Depravity. It is on Transcending Obscurity, as you can see there. This is their full length that came out last year, Grand Malevolence, as you can see right there. So if you're not familiar, Transcending Obscurity is this label that is out in India, and they pump out some really, really great underground death metal, death doom, maybe black metal. I don't know if they've done any black metal, to be honest with you. Albums. I bought several of their releases last year, and in my opinion, although I know some people don't really care too much for this, I think they print really beautiful pressings. They've got the glossy, but then it's like they've got the emboss, and then there's also the matte mixed in with it. On this side, as you can see, the gatefolds are always gorgeous, and then more notably, their pressings are always outstanding in terms of color variants. So they always press like 3 or 4 different color variants. They're super limited to like 75, and they also do box sets that are incredible. So yeah, this is a fantastic album. Was one of my favorites that came out last year. I admittedly have not listened to this since December, but I listened to it a ton when it came out last year. So I pulled this off the shelf after I started to see Transcending Obscurity was posting pictures of this on their Instagram of people that were tagging them, just of other variants that they had. And I was like, oh, I haven't listened to that in a while. So yeah, really, really good old school sounding death metal. Very just awesome, brutal riffs. It's really good. So if you've not heard of Depravity, please check this out because I think you'll like it. As far as the vinyl, I don't know if it's sold out. I know that it probably is on Bandcamp, but Indie Merch also is a supplier for Transcending Obscurity for US releases, because otherwise on Bandcamp you have to pay that crazy Euro shipping, which is over 20 bucks for one vinyl. So they might still have some of these on their store. So, and I've got varying opinions about Indie Merch, but they handled this one pretty well for me, I will say. But so yeah, and you're not gonna go on your sleeve. No. All right, there you go. So this was great. Next one, A Silent Sleeper again. I honestly don't understand why this wasn't more hyped up. It maybe was, maybe I didn't see it. But this was a release on Dark Descent last year, Proscription, with their first full-length Conduit. This is fantastic, old school, like blackened death metal. This album is phenomenal. This was one of my favorite albums last year, and I feel like maybe it didn't get as much attention as it should have. I don't know if it was on Decibels Uranus, I don't know. But I just feel like it's just one of those hidden gems. So it comes with this really nice little booklet that is all of their lyrics for the album. And then I pre-ordered this the day that they had launched. So I listened to the first 2 songs that came out, and I pre-ordered it, and it's got some fuzzies on it. And yeah, it's this really cool red. There's actually quite more splatter in there, but you kind of can't see on this camera, but it's like a white and black splatter. Yeah, it's really hard to see on the camera, unfortunately, but this album is fantastic. So I listened to this probably like 2 months ago and then put it back on the shelf, and then I pulled it back out this week because I was reminded, like, hey, Dark Descent released this album last year and it was amazing. So Proscription, Conduit, and I'm pretty sure they're still available. I don't know if the color variant is, but I'm pretty sure black is still floating around there. And you can't really go wrong with Dark Descent. Like, they pump out really great releases. So yeah, this is really good. Definitely check it out if you've not heard it. Yeah, I don't know. Like, yeah, it's more like blackened death metal, I should say. But it's phenomenal. Black and death metal is probably like one of my favorite subgenre of death metal. Just, it satisfies the itch for black metal and death metal at one time, which is why it's called black and death metal. So, all right. And then finally, I've been just, this is just one of my favorite death metal albums of all time. Just gonna call that out there. So there was a period in time where I pretty much only listened to this album like every single day, when it first came out especially, and then further on into the year, and then most of last year. So it's been out for 2 years now. And the band actually just announced on Instagram that they finished either writing or recording their new album. I can't remember if it was that. Recording. So I was super happy to hear about that. And that is Mortiferum. This is Disgorged from Psychotic Deaths. Easily one of the best death metal logos, and easily one of the best album covers. I absolutely love this album cover. So this came out on Profound Lore. Like I said, 2 years ago, back in 2019, it was definitely one of the top releases that year. People just went apeshit over this with good reason. This is old school sounding death metal, amazing riffs, amazing vocals, amazing song structures. Just the whole thing is phenomenal. If you've not heard this yet, what the fuck is wrong with you? This album is amazing. So this is a repress because the first press is sold out super fast. I was able to get a tape at that time. So I was satisfied with the tape for a while, and then they finally repressed them again. So I was able to get that repressing, but super sad story. I was actually gone on vacation. That was a thing back then before COVID. And this was delivered while I was gone, and it sat outside my door. It was super rainy because that's what happens in the summer of Florida. And my in-laws live about a mile away from me, so I asked them if they could come pick up the package from my doorstep because I did not want it sitting out there in the sweltering hot sun. And unfortunately, it had been sitting in a puddle of water outside my door and got a little bit of water damage on the jacket. But the vinyl is completely fine, plays perfectly well, sounds amazing, but that's kind of a bummer. So, I got, as you can see on the sticker, the Cloudy Smoke variant. And I don't know if they've repressed these since this pressing. I know that they have a black pressing out there that hasn't pretty much sold out yet. So, but there is a first pressing that is this amazing blue splatter that I would absolutely love to get. And I've seen it on Discogs for like $50, and I'm like, I don't know if I should buy that because I already own this. So, I don't know. It's one of my favorite albums. Like I said, still just love it every time I listen to it. And I realized I hadn't listened to it for a while. So when I saw that news on Instagram, I pulled it out and had to listen to it. So yeah, I really love this album, and I really love the artwork for it. So really excited about them. They have another EP out, or demo EP, Altars of Madness. Also incredible. I cannot, now, is it Altars of Madness? I think I said that wrong. Is that a freaking Morbid Angel album? Crap, it has altars in it. I don't remember what the name of it is. Yeah, that is also pretty much sold out. So I don't even own that, but if I ever get a copy of it, I will be super happy. I think they only released it on tape. I don't remember. Crap, I can't remember the name of it now. I'm blanking. Whenever the camera's on, I blank. But that's all that I have. Probably gonna post a controversial video. So if it might go up yesterday if you're watching this today. So, but I kind of feel like I had to. I don't know. I just wanted to talk about it since I had the vinyl. So enjoy that. Just expecting to probably get hate for it, but all right. Again, thank you for all the support. I am getting subscriptions like left and right lately, so it's been amazing to see, especially on Instagram. And again, have a great weekend. I will probably be back on Monday with another video. Thank you guys.